So yeah, dude, that's exactly the issue. I mean, I don't see any consistency throughout any of these teams whatsoever. I mean, again, like we mentioned, we'll get to the Steelers here in a little bit, and we're about to do the Titans here in a moment as well. But I mean, let's look at the other teams we've relied on. The Seahawks, 2-0. I don't know if I can trust them anymore. 49ers have completely exploded on themselves and are probably one of the teams that's low key getting harded with COVID. I don't trust any other team in the NFL. There's no other team that really springs. Maybe the Packers, but we don't know what they're going to be from week to week. I just don't really see any team where I consistently feel confident they're going to run through. Even the Chiefs, dude. I mean, we've seen a couple. We see that close call against the Panthers, right? We saw that blown game against the Raiders, close call against the Chargers. So I don't know. I don't know what team I'm going to get week to week, and it's COVID that has its grasp. The only thing that's consistent right now is inconsistency, and COVID just absolutely destroying and detrimenting the league. That's what
it. So like what I was saying, like Roger Goodell already put a contingency plan in with that whole 16 team playoff, whatever, just in case. It's already week 9. It's already week 9. Might as well just finish the season. And no offense to like saying this like this, and it's gonna sound bad. It's week 9 already. If some players are missing, fine, whatever. If Ben had to miss this week, I mean, honestly, I would have to suck it up and be like, okay, here comes Mason Rudolph fucking again. You know what I mean? Like that's all we would have to say. Like you can't say much because you knew in the season of COVID, shit like this was gonna happen. Thank God it like they found out quick enough so Ben could play. But like in certain situations, like if Patrick Mahomes, like take for the playoffs for example, this is where I'm nervous. We go through this whole season, and I think I said this before. We go to the playoffs. All of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes on Tuesday or Wednesday, we find out he was in close contact with somebody. He can't play a playoff game on Sunday, and then that's just like what the fuck. Like I understand like what COVID is, and we have to do business as usual. But like there's a certain situation where Roger Goodell has to say, "Hey, maybe for the playoffs, we do need to do a bubble and give it a week. So if somebody has COVID, we can get them all good." And we could go. And people are like, well, Michael, that doesn't make sense. There's 53 players. There's coaches. There's staff. Okay, who gives a fuck? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, MLB did the same fucking thing. They picked 2 places for their playoffs. They stayed there. They did what they had to do. Unfortunately, it went well until the very, 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 very end where Justin Turner got it. So, in that point, there's success rate with this shit. I'm just pissed off because here's the deal. We're going to have to be looking over our shoulders as fans of teams and be like, oh, is somebody going to get COVID this week? Are they all going to be able to practice this week? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Ravens, Steelers coming up. Oh, Lamar's not playing. Oh, Ben's not playing. So we're going to have RG3 against Mason. Great. Awesome. Like, come on. That's what I'm saying is like, this is crazy. Like, Roger Goodell is Hitler. He did not plan very well this whole situation because this is the most I've seen COVID, like, around a certain sports league since this whole COVID thing was happening, especially, and MLB did the same thing, but MLB didn't have as many COVID cases as probably the NFL. So,
also, I mean, the counterpoint, and I'm sure that you're getting from a lot of people, and we talked about this last week, so I won't spend too much time on this. I mean, the numbers are doubled, right? Yeah. They are doubled. At the very least, they're doubled, dude. And then, it was already so difficult. Like in terms of the architecture, in terms of actually making sure that this thing consistently works, which they've proven it does by the NBA, and that's fantastic. My fear, and what I think is ultimately going to happen, is it's just not sustainable with the numbers you would have to do, even with 16 teams. Maybe if you're going to bubble up, I would say, if anything, I think 8 might be feasible, 8 teams, but obviously they've already gone with the 16 teams. I just think it'd be way too difficult, and I think we're kind of on a swivel here, dude, just waiting for that head to get chopped in terms of the NFL season.
Exactly, and I think that's what it is, man, and it's what I'm hoping for, I hope to God, if we get through this, that we have a sustainable playoff system where all these superstars are playing. I'm sorry. I'm not watching a game where Russell Wilson is not playing. You know what I mean? Like, that's just asinine. And you're just giving a win to the other team. At this, I think when I saw the playoff standings, the Steelers and the Saints are the bye weeks. because it's one bye week this year. And then it was Titans, Ravens. Then it was Dolphins. Who is it? Dolphins, Chiefs. Dolphins, Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was who's winning the other division?
Let's see if I got hold on.
Bills,
Yeah.
Bills or Raiders. Yeah. And then on the other side, you had great matchups. You had the Rams against the Seahawks. So you're telling me you're giving the Rams a win? And I hate to say it like this. If Russell Wilson somehow gets COVID from Sierra, like, come on, man, that's crazy. Like, that's not winning. That's not like there's going to be an asterisk. And I don't want to say that, but it is true. Like, even if the Steelers win the Super Bowl but they played a non-Patrick Mahomes, like, Chiefs team to make it, will I be okay with that? Fuck no.
Well, then it's going to be the same feeling, right? Of like, I mean, a lot of people and some other shows have said it. I mean, a lot of these sports don't feel real. They feel like a dream. And especially if you're going to get like you had said earlier, I think that was the best example, an RG3 and Mason Rudolph type of game.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking watch that. I might as well be watching the XFL at that point, right? So, I mean, I think you're exactly correct. Everyone wants to see, Russell Wilson out there. Everybody wants to see Aaron Rodgers out there. Devontae Adams, your Aaron Joneses of the world. That's why you watch the playoffs. You don't watch so you can see fucking Jamal Williams score a touchdown.
Yeah.
No
Fantasy football aside, great. I can fix that. Real football, fix it. That's all I'm going to say. But that's COVID. It's COVID. Roger Goodell, you're the worst piece of shit I've ever met.
Let's get into this Thursday night game. We'll try to move on best we can, even though we are greatly concerned.
Speaking of getting butt fucked.
Speaking of getting butt fucked, are the Titans real? Are they legitimate? I want to dive right into this, Nude. I know you, but I just want to say a couple things off the bat.
All right.
Number one, I want you to pull it up real quick if you can. I have it pulled up if you're not. The Titans schedule. I want you to look at the Titans game.
Yeah, I saw it.
And I'm a big Titans. We know I am a Titans.
Next 2 games.
Tighten up. You know me. Tighten up.
The next 2 games.
But if you look at their schedule so far, besides that Bills game that we already talked about, and one game against the Bengals, they have every single game has been within 7 points or less. Every single game. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Every single game has been within 7 points, Nude. So I'm starting to think, and I hate to admit this, and it breaks my heart to say it, but the Titans are the store brand Steelers. Here's how. They are simply playing to their competition.
Oh, big time. Oh, period. Big time. Big time.
Mm-hmm. So the Titans are the store brand Steelers, and we'll get to the Steelers here shortly. But that's exactly what I see. You guys are playing to your competition. You have all these weapons. You have, arguably, Nude, one of the best offenses, definitely, when they are on, top 5 offense, period. Along with that O-line as well, I mean, it takes you away. You simply, period, you got to beat a team like the Colts. I understand they're a good team. I understand that, they're finally kind of getting along. Those running backs are clicking. Nakeem Hines seems like he's a superstar all of a sudden. We'll see what he is. But you got to find a way to beat this team with what you are, with what you're trying to be. And everyone was ignoring those within 7-point games, but we can't now, and we can't ignore what's right in front of our face. And it's partially the COVID monster, Nude, come into play a little bit, I think, here with this team, as they seem to be affected once again, like we said earlier. But I mean, it's a contingency year. It's a year you got to prepare and deal with this. It's a year we got to find one consistent team. Titans, you are still not it. I hope I find one soon, but you are the store brand Steelers right now, and I need you to figure it out.
Well, I'm not. Well, we'll get to the Steelers later because Jesus. But the whole playing down to your competition, I see. Titans, let me put it in perspective. So when they were in 5-0, when they went 5-0, right? Mm-hmm. And they were undefeated going into the Steelers game, they had a 75% chance, according to like the whole possibilities, odds, whatever, 75% chance to get the AFC South title and host a playoff game. All right. Mm-hmm. Where do you think the percentage is now after last night?
Say below 40.
45. And then who is expected now to win the division? The Colts. Now, you bring up their schedule. Guess next week?
Who I know you mentioned it, and I
The
did not look at that. I
Ravens.
just looked at the
The
past
Ravens.
games.
I will save you the trouble. I thought you had it up. The Ravens.
I did
So
at
it
one
doesn't
point.
get any easier. It does not get any easier for these Titans.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get any easier for the Colts. The Colts play the Green Bay Packers. So they both play well, they're going to play good teams. So we're going to find out which team is going to win this division. Now,
We're gonna find out which the identities of both these teams in that game.
Exactly. Too. Now, here's the identity of the Colts. I will tell you the identity of the Colts. Defense, defense, defense. Phil Rivers, 1 touchdown. That's it. That's all they need. That's all
Wait,
they
and
need.
what was that again? One more time.
Defense, defense, defense. Phil Rivers, 1 touchdown. That's it. That's it. As long as they get what they need from the running game, which is honestly the biggest bust of all time, Jonathan Taylor right now, because Jonathan Taylor is a bum. And you need to start running fucking Wilkins and Nakeem Hines. Hines looks like a fucking Darren Sproles out there. He looked great, and he looked awesome. Now,
I think he's coming to his own. I would argue a little bit with Wilkins. I think Wilkins had one good game, and he doesn't really seem to coming into his own. Last night, I think he just had 3 or 5 points total.
It's the Nakeem Hines show.
It is, and I think he's the lead back going forward for this team.
I think with what you have with Philip Rivers, a.k.a. Mr. Dink and Dunk, you have to have Nakeem Hines on the field. But I digress. I feel like the Titans have a lot more problems in their special teams than they do their offense and defense. The punter shanked a kick, gave him great field position. Then they got a block punt. Then they had this kicker. I don't know. I get it. Stefan Janikowski, whatever. They keep calling him a Hall of Famer. Okay, we got it. They did the same fucking thing in Indianapolis with Adam Vinatieri. You need to cut these guys. Like, I get it. Like, you need to cut these guys because I understand that they're future Hall of Famers. I understand that they can make kicks back in the day, but they're older now. You need to get a younger guy in there, get a Blankenship, and get fucking going in Titansville. Like, they are a well-coached team. Derrick Henry is a monster. A.J. Brown, yes, he had the drop skis yesterday, but he will be fine. Jonnu Smith is a great tight end. Ryan Tannehill is above average. He is a top 12 quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. The defense let them down yesterday.
And that wide receiver core, too, dude. Let's not sleep on that either. I mean, I know how you feel about Corey Davis, but Corey Davis, fantastic as well.
Is coming into his own.
AJ Brown, is going to end up being a top, like you did briefly mention him, is going to be a top 5 receiver, I think, when his career is said and done.
Yeah, I like AJ Brown. I like this Titans team. Yes, they play to their competition. They are like the Steelers. You're right, and they did. They haven't put a complete game, in my opinion, just yet. But when they do, they will be on. But the thing is the Colts are a frisky team. Colts are always against them. Colts, no matter if it was Jacoby or Andrew Luck or fucking Peyton Manning or whoever they have at quarterback, they are always there with the Titans. And that's the funny thing it's just we'll see what the Titans are made of coming next week because they came off of an awful loss and they do play the Colts again. So, in my opinion, are the Titans for real? Are they frauds? I don't know yet. They are in that category of wait and see. And I think that's it's a good thing. You lose to the Bengals, you lose to the Steelers, you lose to the Colts. I mean, like, it's okay. Like, there's a tipping point here, but like they're not there yet. So Titans, I still think they're pretty good in a sense of we will see what happens.
They did beat the Bengals there, dude.
What?
The Titans did beat the Bengals.
No, the Bengals beat them, dog.
Where did that schedule go?
Did you see like 2015?
No, motherfucker.
Do you not remember this? We talked about this because we were like, Burrow put the magic.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's right.
Come on, son. Come on.
That's on me. Hey, we all make mistakes and we always get better for it, baby.
Exactly. And also, I want to credit the Colts for going into Tennessee, beating up on them, showing their dominance on defense. Like I said, DeForest Buckner is probably the best transition of this season. He has been amazing. So, credit to the Colts.
Transformation, I would say he was doing that last year for the 49ers, right?
Right.
I mean, he's been pretty impressive. I would say this whole defense is, like you're saying, dude, blown me away in terms of how on point they've been, in terms of really coming together as a unit, and that starts and ends with Buckner, plain and simple. I do think, like you said, we will find the identity of this Colts team even more so against the Ravens, but I think it's more so going to be telling of the Ravens than the Colts, as they are one of the few teams, the Colts are, that have been pretty consistent in the terms of just being scrappy and fighting to the end with games. Overall, as well, I would say, to kind of clarify up on your point a little bit here, Nude, and I don't know where my Titans schedule went for whatever reason. But yeah, no, like you said, you lose against the Bengals. You don't do too well against the Colts. And it's who knows what kind of I'm a little worried about what this team is. We still need to see some sort of sense of identity. I think the offense and some lights is showing us perspective what they could potentially be here, Nude. But ultimately, again, they still haven't found their identity. The defense definitely hasn't found their identity as much as I love them. So, I mean, prayers and thoughts go out to the Titans, but you're dealing with what everybody else is dealing with, Titans, and that is the COVID monster. And you need to figure out your contingency plan, as much as I hate to say it, because it's not like Goodell's going to go ahead and stop anytime soon. He's going to keep spilling blood as long as football can go on. So you got to figure out with this new weird season who you are and how to stay consistent. And if anybody can do it, and why I'm not too worried, it is good old Sir Mike Vrabel.
Hitler.
Bam.
But yeah, no, I'm not worried too much about the Titans. It's just a wait and see game, kind of like everybody, like we said. There's no true contender. There is no true like number one contender. There's no true the second in command, third in command. It's just we will see what happens when the time comes, and that's especially what happened this Sunday, past Sunday. So.
Yeah, there's a couple things that happened this Sunday, but I want to start, and this could also count as my disappointment, Nude, but I'll go with my surprise. 2 losses in a row. I already mentioned it with the Seahawks. Listen, you can't do this, guys. I mean, I don't know. While we don't, speaking of inconsistent teams, is the theme of this show, I don't know what the Seahawks are, Nude. I have no idea who they are anymore. You think one week they're this team, let Russ cook, but it looks like Russ's meals are starting to be pretty fucking disgusting, if you ask me. I mean, he's still being Russ for some light, but they're starting to figure out the recipes for sure. And not only that, this defense is, I would say, you know what? I wanted to give them some love. I gave the front 7 some love. But, I mean, it's miserable. It's absolutely miserable to the point where we're starting to say, start the quarterback that's facing the Seahawks. They're starting to get Jets and NFC East treatment, and I am deeply, to be perfectly honest with you, concerned about what these Bills are. And I apologize. They did beat the 49ers 2 weeks ago in Week 9, but lost to the Cardinals in overtime in Week 8, and then lost to the Bills here in Week 10. Or Week 9, excuse me. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I just don't right now, this team, and a Bills team that was struggling in weeks 8 and 7, right? And the go ahead, and then they destroy. I mean, I would say not destroy, but beat pretty handily the Seattle Seahawks, right? In Week 9. So listen, dude, I am very, very trepidatious. I'm very concerned. I don't know if I want to eat another Russ meal or not. What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I mean, here's the deal. When I saw that you had surprised Seahawks, I was in the same boat. I mean, people thought the same thing. Was like you're throwing the ball downfield, Russ, to these big wide receivers, to DK Metcalf, to David Moore, to the Tyler Lockett. You have these weapons, but it doesn't do jack shit when your defense is giving up all these points and all these yards on the other side. And this is far from the Legion of Boom. Like, this is way far from the Legion of Boom back in the day where everybody was too scared to pass on. Literally, Pete Carroll comes out and says, we had a plan to stop the run. They didn't run. They passed on us. Like, dude, no shit. You are by a huge, huge, huge margin, by far the worst passing defense in the NFL. And you just traded for Jamal Adams, which has done jack squat for you. Your corners are getting burned on every play. The credit to the Bills. Like, we buried the Bills, but they did what they had to do in Buffalo. They beat the Seahawks. They beat a good team. And Russ, to his credit, did as much as he could But there were some things in that game where it was Russ's fault. He held the ball. He fumbled. He threw a pick in the end zone, which didn't make any sense to me. Like,
Right.
he never does that. And I think it's just one of those wacky games, like that there's no true contender. So everybody's going to have those games where you're looking at them is like, what the fuck? This team is 6-2, was in like, or 6-1. They were number 1 seed in the NFC. Now they're number 3 because they lost that game. Bills just went up to the 3rd seed. Like, it's just one of those years where you're just like, even the best teams could do this shit. And it was a surprise because one consistency throughout this whole COVID thing was Russ doing well,
Right.
overcoming those obstacles by the defense. But when he's the one turning the ball over, then we have a problem there in Seattle. So,
and I know there's going to be some people too, Nude, that are saying, "Well, Nude and Joe, there's inconsistent teams every year, and good teams lose to bad teams every single." Listen, we get all that, we understand all that, but you look at the body so far of the 9 weeks of football, now going into week 10 that we've had. It's a completely different animal this year, right, Nude? I mean, you're seeing no clear identities. Where at this point we know what a good amount of the league is, right?
Yeah, we do.
Typically.
Here's the thing: you have everybody bunched up at the top, everybody bunched up in the middle, and then you have these shit teams. No, then you just have the Jets. We know the Jets are the worst. So the Jets are the worst. And then you have all these middling teams. You have the Cowboys. You have all these different teams.
Patriots, Washington football team named to be determined at a later date, but probably not.
Like those teams that are like, we don't know what they really are. Then you have the contenders. But it's just that. You know what I mean? It's just those teams. Like the Raiders could be a fucking Super Bowl team at this point. Like fucking the Dolphins. Like, it's just crazy. Like, we don't know what's going on. And just proves with your surprise, that's what happened,
And I'm ready to be surprised with your surprise game. What is it, Nude? What do you got for the people?
So this is for you, Dan Marino. This is for you, Flipper. This is for you guys who felt that pain ever since he left. Miami Dolphins are for real.
Oh!
They're for real.
Oh!
That defense is for real. Tua might be.
You like my dolphin sound?
Yeah, you got to do a little bit more of a Flipper, though.
Oh! Oh!
There you go. There it is. That's the showmanship. There it is. That's showmanship. There you go.
Let me get in the role. All method acting here. Oh! Oh!
There it is, baby. Now, see, we were
I caught my eye last week as well. This team's on fire.
What really is, we owe Brian Flores some credit here. We owe him an apology too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Benching was mind-boggling. But Tua brings a special dynamic to this offense that obviously Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't have. He can run the ball like a motherfucker. He can throw the ball pretty accurately to these tight ends, to these wide receivers. They do have pretty good wide receivers. Preston Williams, sorry, he's on IR, yeah, but he has Devontae Parker.
I just want to stop us. We said we need to apologize, but we did not apologize. So on 3, 2, 1, we apologize.
We apologize. I just want to apologize to him because he's
Flores and Tua.
He's a great coach. He is a great coach. Clearly, he had something built on defense that I didn't see. He went in there to Arizona and took Kyler Murray pound for pound. Yes, they missed a field goal to tie the game.
Had him last week.
But that's crazy. Like, I understand they missed a field goal to tie the game, but still, that to be in that situation where the game is on the line and you're about to win, and he missed a field goal and you won for the Dolphins. This is head and shoulders what they brought in Brian Flores to do. This is what they brought Tua in to do. This is what they brought all that money on defense to do. Like, this is crazy. Are we really here talking? And I told you the playoff picture as of now. They are a playoff team.
Yep.
They would go to Kansas City right now and play Kansas City. Like, that's crazy. Like, them and the Raiders are in the playoffs as of now.
By the way, quick question. Are we sponsored by Head & Shoulders now? Because that's the third time you said Head & Shoulders on the show. If we are sponsored by Head & Shoulders now, I use shampoo every day. It makes my hair beautiful and fluffy and just absolutely luminescent.
I do.
Head & Shoulders.
I do, baby. But it is true, though. Like, credit to these Dolphins, man. They are in a division where they could win it. I mean, they're not far behind from the Bills. They do play the Bills again. So be
I
careful.
think they are. I'm sorry to cut you off here, buddy. I think they are.
You're
I
up.
think they.
You're up.
Yeah, nothing new, right? I think they are a. I think they are a better team than the Bills right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I do. I
What
do.
makes you say that?
Well, I mean, a couple reasons. Number one, I mean, this team is. What did I say to you? I texted you when I gave you that whole rant about I don't like privately. I didn't think that, or off mic, I didn't think any teams were consistent in the league except for maybe who?
The Dolphins?
The Dolphins, except for maybe the Dolphins. They have been pretty much in every single game being scrappy, and they've been consistent and improving every single week. This defense, arguably top 5 right now, sue me, arguably top 5 in the league right now.
Sue you. I talked to
each other in court. Great.
No, I really think it goes Steelers, Colts, Dolphins. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
It was the Bucs, but who knows what happened to their defense?
Bucs, their defense is trash. Bears, all right. Like, they're up there. Like, who knows? Seattle, you're garbage. Like, Rams are pretty good. I would put the Rams up there. So
Washington football team named to be later date, probably not.
I mean, your back end is just.
Hey,
horrendous.
don't worry about that back end, baby. We're trying.
You're like a typical white girl. Your front is huge tits, back just pancake ass. Just pancaked ass.
I know. I did the 200 squat challenge. It didn't work.
It did not work. You gotta eat some like chitlins or something.
But no, this is, if we're gonna say anything, and that was the extra point I had along, the only consistent team I see, again, tell me if I'm wrong, is the Miami Dolphins.
From these past 2 games, they have done
all year, all season.
I wouldn't say all year, but I would say as of recently, they have picked it up. They have kept it up. And who they play next? They play the Chargers. The typical Tua has to prove, is he better than Justin Herbert to justify the pick and blah, 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 and this, and this. So it's going to be a great game. So I think that's a great spot. Kudos to the Miami Dolphins. I am going to go straight to my disappointment because you did bring them up.
Okay.
So we talked about teams.
Wait. Get your emotions together. Stay stable.
This is my favorite segment. I crucify teams here.
You really get passionate about it because you are one with your team that you ride in the disappointment with. So you ride in their pain and their disdain and their rough times.
These are not favorite teams. Falcons. You heard me, Falcons. You heard me. You won some couple games now. You won 3 games. So this is
when Newt's heart back.
Yeah. Cowboys, you played hard against the team he's going to say about his disappointment, but we'll get to them. Now it's your turn, Bucks. Bucks, you are now in the Michael Shanuti chamber. So listen up here. Listen up.
Look him up.
Everybody picks you. Everybody and their mother. Tom Brady. He's ageless. He's a wonder. Here comes Antonio Brown. How are we going to stop him? Oh, my God. There's Godwin. He's on the field. Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. We are the Golden State Warriors of the NFL. Oh,
here go, Pharaoh, go.
That defense. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Dominic Nassau. Antoine Winfield. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who are we going to stop him? Drew Brees has no chance in Tampa Bay. Oh, Michael Thomas back. He's not going to be fully go. Alvin Kamara is going to be a wash. Oh, guess what happened, motherfuckers? That's why they play the fucking games. The Saints went in there and took them to the shed. Took them out back, shot them dead. That's what happened. Tom Brady, you looked like your age. For the first time ever, I have said it. You looked like your age. You couldn't get the ball to Antonio Brown. You couldn't get the ball to Robert Gronkowski. Godwin, why are you playing if you can't catch it and you had to put your fingers like this in the back? It just doesn't make sense. You abandon the run game. You throw interceptions. Drew Brees, credit to him, took advantage of it. He made him look stupid. Absolutely stupid. They could not get to Drew Brees all night. AK didn't even have a good game. He threw to 8 or 9 different receivers. Taysom Hill looked like a better quarterback than Tom Brady last night or that game. Like, I'm sorry. If you want to win the division, like I'm yelling at all those other teams, like the Seattle Seahawks, like the fucking Buffalo Bills, Bucks, you're going to lose that division if you're not fucking careful because the New Orleans Saints have ran that division for a couple years now. And they don't care if you have Tom Brady and Dominic Sue and fucking Antonio Brown and this, that, and the third. You better wake the fuck up this week against the Carolina Panthers, because the Carolina Panthers almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So if you're not careful, Bucks, your ass might be in the frying pan and the jackpot. So fuck off.
Yeah, well, first of all, well said, sir. Well said.
Service.
I'm not as emotionally attached to my disappointments as Nude is, but I was hurt by this Bucks team.
Before you start.
I'm not going to go into that team yet. I do.
No. Before you start, no. Like, the reason why also I'm very passionate, I lost in a fantasy game by 1 point because of Tom Brady and Antonio Brown. So thank you. Continue.
I wouldn't have started AB the first week, but I did start the first week he was on the Patriots.
I had to. I had no other option. Calvin Ridley, bye. People were hurt. Like, it was either that or start, like, fucking, like, I think it was, like, Traquan Smith, which I should have. I should have picked him up, apparently. But continue. Sorry.
Yeah, well, no. So, okay. Here's a couple things. Number one, I believe that the Calvin Ridley buys this week, isn't it? Correct?
Oh, he was hurt. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, all good. So, but then, hey, baby, I made a mistake earlier. You made a mistake, and we're stronger and better, and even better looking for it. Your double chin's starting to go away. So
here we go again. Here we go. Just go on to your rant, Dick.
No, I mean, this is what inspired me to text you on Sunday night. When they were down, I believe 21 at one point, and honestly, it could have been easily 45-3 if it wasn't for a turnover in the red zone for the Bucs defense, and I believe like a 5-yard line, right, in the first quarter. So, yeah, listen, you could have smelled it coming last week with the Giants. I should have smelled it coming. They almost lost to the Giants last week, right? And this Bucs team is looking like they're relying on their names, but not making a game plan based on those names, right? I mean, so this is the team that, again, has inspired the theme of the show of consistently inconsistent, and the Bucs are right at the forefront, if you ask me of that. I mean, it's literally, I say, the most bipolar up and down team we've seen so far. You go out, and the first week of the season, you lose to the Saints team again, but then you go 3-4 weeks in a row where you're dominating teams. You look like, oh shit, this is the Yankees of football. This is the Golden State Warriors of football. And, you're like, wow, all right, I hear that's who they are. Then you get the last 2 weeks, right? Then you get the almost losing to the Giants. And they got very, very lucky, if it wasn't due to poor management by Joe Judge, who's, making what you will of him. Very poor management by Joe Judge in the last 3 minutes of that game. They probably would have won that game. The Giants probably should have won that game, arguably, right, Nude? So, and then you go out and you get absolutely throttled by your biggest threat to the goal that you want to get to, that everybody wants to get to, if we make it to that, of the Super Bowl. Yep. So, I mean, yeah, I got a little attached on this one with you this week as well, Nude. Bucks, figure it the fuck out. Everybody has contingency problems. Everybody's got to deal with the COVID monster, and few teams have done it. You got to find the answer, Bucks.
They better figure the fuck out, because they're brain dead right now, and it's stupid. I cannot believe what I'm watching. What I watched. The fact that the Monday night game with the Pats and the Jets was better than this shit is mind-boggling. Continue. Sorry.
Do you have enough emotionally left in the tank for my disappointment right now?
No, I do, because I am as disappointed as you. I just wanted you to say it, because people are going to be like, Michael, you're being biased. Michael, stop. They're undefeated. Go ahead.
So, as promised, my disappointment this week is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as promised, dude, I won't make any mention to Ben being a rapist at all. As promised, I won't say a word. I won't mention it.
Talking about your hairline and you looking like the ginger dead man. Continue.
The ginger dead man. We all know here at Face of the Franchise you can do better than that. So
you gotta Google it, and then you'll figure it out. Continue.
Okay, now I'm a little worried, and now I don't know if I want that to be on my Google search, but we'll move right along, and we'll go ahead. And, Pittsburgh Steelers this week, Nude. I'll start us off, and then I know you have a rant here as well. I had to pick this one for us because I saw Nude didn't pick it. And listen. It's self-explanatory. It's quite simple here. You are the top dog. You are undefeated. You are the fucking backbone, the team that everybody wants to watch right now in this weird dream of a season, right? What do you have to do when you face arguably the worst team in the league? What should you do ideally, Nude?
Kill them by 40.
Kill them by 40,
Kill
just
them like how the Saints killed the Bucks.
Like that's another thing that we said, right? That these games literally got transversed, whatever you'd like to call it, right? It was literally we were watching on Sunday night, we were watching the Steelers Cowboys game, and then Sunday afternoon around 4:00, we were watching the Saints and Bucks, what they should have been, right? Because I don't know what game plan was set in place, how you let some guy off the street come in at QB and dice you up. I'm sorry. Absolutely dice you up. You were supposed to be the best defense in the league. You have the most talent in the league when it comes to defense. Easily.
Don't be sorry, yeah.
Easily. And I just want to make sure I know your emotions are a little high this morning.
No, you're saying everything I want to say, but you're saying it in a calmer voice. When I get to it, it's not going to be calm, but continue.
and not only that, you're not only expected to beat this team, which you barely did, but like we're saying, you're supposed to beat this team by fucking 60. You're supposed to blow these lights out. Your defense isn't supposed to let them get a first down to the fourth quarter and it's garbage time. And you're praying that for whatever reason you had no other choice but to start CeeDee Lamb and he somehow gets a couple grabs with 2 minutes left on a bullshit touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you got CeeDee Lamb getting a touchdown to give the Steelers a lead. You got the Steelers down at halftime by 10 fucking points. Not acceptable. Not acceptable whatsoever. I know you're going to light them up here, Nude, even more so than I did just now. But I mean, this is my strongest disappointment so far of the year. This is probably my disappointment game of the year from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because, hey, let's be honest. I have been pretty supportive of the Steelers this year, right? More so than last year. I haven't been doing too much trolls besides the easy one that I always do, right? I have been, for the most part, on the Steelers, drafted them in 4 leagues. Every league I could get their defense, I got them. I've been on it, but I don't know what happened this week. That was, as I know you'll get to here in a moment, the patent what the Steelers have always been type of game, and that's play to the competition. If they went ahead and me and you lined up out there and you got your pops and my pops and a couple other family members, we got 12 out there. We brought Engineer Sam and Jeff, who sits silent in the corner, right? And we got all them out there. We'll probably put up a pretty decent game. I'm saying you get three touchdown passes to good old Joe. I'm saying I get about 250 receiving yards. You're 400 on the day. I think it's a pretty close game, probably 24-27. Steelers barely pulled out once they figure out and make adjustments in the second half. But that's essentially what this game was.
All right. You said it very calmly. Now, it's not time for being calm. Let's just start with the good. They're 8-0. Great. If Ben didn't play, we'd probably lose that game. Great. End of good things. The slow starts to these fucking games, I am going to start beating the fuck out of somebody. They literally have the worst scripted 15 plays I have ever seen from any team. From any team. This entire season. It's always a fucking 2-yard run, another 2-yard run, and then let's do a fucking bubble screen to fucking whoever. They either drop it or they don't even make it. Great. Now, we have this so-called, quote-unquote, solid defense that has just been getting gashed the past couple of weeks. Literally gashed. People are saying it's because we don't have our D tackle. It's not because we don't have Mike Hilton out there. Unacceptable. You still have Cameron Hayward. You still have TJ Watt. You still have Bud Dupree. You still have Mika Fitzpatrick. You still have all your corners. I don't want to hear fucking excuses. This was an AAF fucking MVP that you went against. That is no excuse. You should be eating him. We literally only had 2 sacks, and they came at the last fucking drive, the entire game. I don't know what game plan they always have. I don't know if they overlook this because they want to go beat the Bengals because the Bengals are a frisky team. They're in your division, whatever. But you're right. This is a Mike Tomlin, Ben Roethlisberger special. They did the same fucking thing last year or 2 years ago with the Raiders. The Raiders literally had 1 win, and we lost to the Raiders 24-20. And if we beat them, we go to the playoffs. The next year, we do the same exact fucking thing with who was it? Last year, the Jets. We lose to the Jets. with Mason Rudolph and Duck, I get it, yeah, but we lose to the Jets with Sam Darnold. Like, come on, man. Like, you are killing me. And we beat them, we go to the playoffs. Now, it's a different scenario here. We were undefeated, we lose, we're still 7-1, whatever. It is no excuse, Joe. It is no excuse anymore. Like, I texted you. I was like, the only way to make me pissed off in this game other than losing is if we win by a little. By, like, literally a last-second, like, miracle, which we did. We won exactly the same way we beat the Ravens. You do the exact same thing against the Cowboys as you do the Ravens, you are not a contender to beat the fucking Chiefs. And that's what I'm holding the board to. If you really can't beat this team, I understand it was in Dallas and all this shit, and you weren't prepared. There's no film. There's not. Bill Cowher said that. I was like, fuck you. You still have a fucking good defense that should pick him off, should kill him, should do this. The offense should have been rolling. Like, this is ridiculous. And against the Bengals, Joe, I don't know. Like, I thought I was gonna turn the game off at halftime, watch the Tua sensation that was happening on my TV, the Tua and the Kyler battle. But no, I had to watch the Steelers because the Steelers don't want me to have a fucking easy Sunday because fuck them. And Ben, you better be fucking playing on Sunday. You better fucking kill them by 50 because I'm done with this shit. I need to see dominance. I need to see something. You dominated the Browns and that's it. You beat the Titans because of a missed field goal. You beat the Ravens pretty handily, which is okay. I'll take that. Whatever. You came back. But this game showed me you guys haven't matured. And the rain.
That was relatively calm, dude. Snaps for Nude, everybody. Snaps for Nude.
That was relatively calm. Dom just came back, and I think he's working, so I don't want to disturb him. So.
That was good. Like it was a Xanax. It was a half a Xanax rant. So
I'm pissed. I want us to be undefeated when we play the Ravens because I know we're gonna probably lose to the Ravens, but we gotta stay the course. We gotta beat the Bengals. We gotta beat the Jags. That's it.
Ravens are going to take that next one from you most likely.
Oh,
right?
100%. And I am ready for that. And will probably lose to either the Bills or the Colts and probably lose to Bengals in Cincinnati. But you just got to beat the Bengals in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, dude, I do see a twinkle in your eye. So I need to know what game caught your eye this week, babe.
All right, baby. You ready?
Always.
It's the game everybody was talking about. It was the game that had everybody jumping, swirling and doing their thing. They've been on my disappointment for a while. They won that game last week, and then they win this game against a swaggy quarterback. Swaggy.
Sound like you said sweaty, but swaggy.
Swaggy.
Not sweaty.
Is there a better safety blanket than Julio Jones?
No.
Matt Ryan is a superstar quarterback when he has Julio Jones. And it's hard analysis. Hashtag very, very good analysis, Michael. You had to dig deep for that one. But the Falcons put up a shit ton of points against a pretty good defense. Don't credit the Broncos. They are a very good defense. Now, on the other side, I'm very happy in the development of Drew Lock. Everybody's telling me Drew Lock this, Drew Lock that. Drew Lock did fine. Drew Lock did actually fine. He just makes mental mistakes. He's a gunslinger. Jerry Jeudy is probably one of the better young wide receivers we're going to see in this league. He fucking balled. The Phillip Lindsay should be the starting running back. I'm sorry, Melvin Gordon is just not the case.
Also, I would like to say potentially Devontae Adams and Travis Kelce better safety blankets, but we'll move on.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, in the top tier, Julio Jones, if he's on the field, you're playing Matt Ryan in your fantasy league, and you know he's going to put up double-digit points. And he's going to. Now, they had no Calvin Ridley, but they still found ways to dice you and slice you and do all these different things. The Falcons' defense came up when they needed to, even though they gave up a shit ton of yards, shit ton of touchdowns, shit ton of everything. The Falcons have won a couple games now. Now they're coming on to their own. I'm just happy to see that they finally got rid of the Dan Quinn stunk, and then they're ready to go, as well as the Broncos, in the sense of they have great young talent. They might be there with the Chargers and the Chiefs later down the road, but they are pretty good. They are frisky. They are now in the frisky category with Drew Lock.
Yeah, I think this team's listen, I'll give them frisky. I think they've always been frisky. They just had a clear handicap all along, and I'm still not convinced of this team, dude. I understand they caught your eye this week. I understand. Hey, it was Broncos coming, or the Broncos coming off a pretty, or excuse, yeah, Broncos coming off a pretty big win the prior week. But listen, I just don't. I'm not sold by this team. When you give up 20 points 3 times in the year and you have a history of giving up 20 points in the fourth quarter, I just don't feel comfortable trusting in this team. Yeah, they're scrappy. Yeah, they're going to put up a fight with you. But if you're a legitimate team, you probably will go ahead and end up coming back by 40 on them still. I'm not sold on this team.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying more so I'm just happy to see that the Dan Quinn's, like, stench is gone.
The aroma is worn off. It smells like daisies again. There's a sense of hope in that building. Exactly. That I agree with you with.
I'm just happy with Julio and Matt Ryan. They deserved that Super Bowl when they lost 28-3, or they were up 28-3 and lost. But, I digress. I think they, as a team, are going in a trajectory back up. Same with the Broncos. So it was just a good game. But who's your caught eye of your week, bitch?
You know who brings up every single room when he comes in it, who picks up that steam every single time he comes in a room, baby? It's Chucky. It's fucking Coach Chucky. It is my man, Johnny Gruden, who everybody was hating on when he first came in.
Knock on wood if you're with me. Knock on wood if you're with me. You don't remember that Hard Knocks?
Oh, fuck. Yes. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Thank you. Give me a little refresher there. The THC, as you know, has done a bit of damage on my memory over the years.
Just a bit.
But no, man. I mean, first of all, they look fantastic. They look, in my opinion, pretty good. Now, I understand offense isn't completely always firing on all cylinders. There still is a little bit of inconsistency with this team. But I personally did not see this team at 5-3, potentially coming up the wings to go ahead. And I mean, I don't think they're going to catch the Chiefs, but they can definitely get in that wild card spot.
They're in the wild card.
Yeah, they're in that wild card spot. They do have a win over those said Chiefs. So listen, John Gruden is doing what he does best. He energizes his team. He is a coach's guy. We're finally over. He traded Khalil Mack. It took me a couple years, but we are at a good point now to where he has got this team believing. He has this team rolling, and this is the most confident Raiders team I've seen, dude, in about a decade. Right. This is a playoff team. They did exactly what they needed to do last week, and they continue to surprise me. They continue to shock me. Listen, I understand 16-6 against the Browns. Okay, Joe, not amazing. But at the same time, this team is getting the wins done. They are in that scrap heap of scrappy teams. And they may be even on top of, at least where we're talking scrappy tier. I would say they're right there in scrappy tier with the Miami Dolphins right now.
Right. And I wouldn't even put them in the Dolphins the scrappy tier. I think they are those are legitimate teams. Like
legitimate teams, yeah.
I think now when you talk about like how everybody was talking about like does John Gruden want a new quarterback? Is Derek Carr the guy? I think he answered that question. I think Derek Carr is the guy. I think Derek Carr with weapons like Henry Ruggs, Nelson Aguilar coming out of nowhere, being one of the better wide receivers for them. He's doing well. Obviously, Baller, the Waller, as well as Josh Jacobs in the backfield.
And the Walrus.
But they also use this Booker. They're using him pretty well. They're not just using Josh Jacobs. Their defense is playing well. And credit to them, dude. They were like I said, they're left for dead. They're now in a new place in Las Vegas. Maybe that's the juice. John there for 10 years. Clearly they believe in him. Like, this is a team that if you're not careful, they could put some points on you and you can get beat. Like, you can get beat. Yep. There are now, if it was the Bills and the Raiders, that's a good game. Like, that is a good game in the playoffs. Like, that is a great game. Now, credit to the
prefer the Dolphins and Raiders, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, you can't do that. I mean, they're wild card teams. I'm talking about like.
I know, but still.
Cheating.
Yeah, I'm saying what I would prefer in a perfect world.
Oh, that would be great. To the frisky team, the legit teams playing each other. And then I feel bad for the other side. They played the Chargers. Justin Herbert did as much as he could. It's bad luck after bad luck with that team. They always lose close games. I'm feeling for them. Hopefully they figure that out soon because they have talent. They are a good team. I think they're up there with the Chiefs and the Raiders. But this is the Raiders' year to shine in Las Vegas. They are playing with house money. They're going all in, baby. So
I loved it. That was a great review of our games this week, man. We deep dive for sure. Gave the fans what they need. Now let's give them a stats. Now let's give them some wins this week. We need some fantasy wins, especially if the season's going to wrap up soon. Let's get it going. Let's get it rolling, Nude. Who you got at quarterback this week, baby?
So this is a guy that you can also keep and stash him for your fantasy playoffs. We're looking at guys you can also stash in fantasy playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
We did talk about the Seattle defense being the most horrendous pass defense we've seen in recent memory. So I'm going with King Joffrey himself, Jared Goff. He is going to – you have any of the wide receivers for the Rams, you start them as well.
Nude is going with the consensus waiver wire pickup of the week here. Nude is going with the consensus popular waiver wire pickup of the week.
It is easy money. It's cash money. But if you want a deeper dive guy, we did try to talk about Drew Lock. Get Drew Lock. He is playing against the Las Vegas Raiders. We did say the defense is pretty good, but that pass defense is still not the best. It gives up the 9th most fantasy points to the quarterback. Put Drew Lock if you really need him.
I know how Jeff, who said silent in the corner, would feel about that. I won't speak any on it because, as we know, we are always positive on our waiver wire pickup segment. With that being said, I love Baker Mayfield this week. I think it's somewhat a pickup that's getting slept on in the cornerback streaming position. I got him rolling. I got him going against the Texans, who are horrendous themselves as a secondary. I like this a whole lot. Coming right off, he had a week off with he didn't even have COVID. They were just being cautious, so he's not going to have that fog brain like El Prez did, like Dave Portnoy did, like our Prez did, Michael Shinuti. I think he should be okay here. I think he's going to come out strong and tear up the Texans here as your streaming pickup quarterback of the week for me.
For me, at running back, I am going with DeAndre Washington for the Miami Dolphins. We did talk about their offense. They are having a little flux with their running back situation after Gaskin got hurt. They did trade for him. Don't forget, this is a guy they traded for, and he has a complete skill set. He is not what Jordan Howard is. He is not what Breida is. He's not what this Adman Shahan or whatever running back that they have at rookie.
Salvin Ahmad.
There you go. DeAndre Washington could be the lead back for a couple of weeks. Pick him up, start him. At a running back, like, dry season I've ever seen, you need to pick a guy up like that could have 15 to 20 touches.
Well, we're a little bit opposite here as I am, but again, always positive here on our waiver wire pickup segment. I am going with Salvin Ahmad this week. I like Salvin a whole lot. I am a big fan of what he did in college. Check out his highlights there. I think you'd be pretty impressed yourself. If you're not sold by that, I like a deep dive. Did get you 13 points this week. I think he's going to be, especially if Dave Montgomery's out this week, Ryan Knoll with the Bears. 0.5% owned right now, Nude. I really, really like this a whole lot. I think especially if Montgomery's out, he's going to guy that's going to get his touches. He's going to be part of this Bears game plan. Go pick him up, especially if you're, again, in one of those dry, desperate spots.
Yeah. And at wide receiver, I am going with Cam Newton's favorite target as of now, Jacoby Myers, coming off 2 100-yard games, just decimating those defenses. They do play the Baltimore Ravens this week, so this is more of a stash. Start him if you need him, definitely, but there's no N'Keal Harry to speak of. Julian Edelman on IR. He has proven he could take this could be another Travis Fulgham situation where everybody's out. He has carved out.
ODU.
He carved out a role, and I don't see him going back into the shadows once those guys come back. So.
Yeah, I like that a whole lot. For whatever reason, not completely available. I'm going to go ahead and you haven't gotten Darnell yet, get Darnell Mooney. He is clearly the guy there. He is elevating up, and he is a favorite target of one Bicky, Dicky, Nicky Foles. So go get him right now. I also like a whole lot Alan Lazard. He's coming back. If you for whatever reason somebody in your league said, "Hey, I don't know, he's done for the season. Why do I get it?" Get him. Get him. He is going to be the backup for when Devontae Adams has 4 different defenders on him. So go get Alan Lazard as he will get his touches. And I'm saying at least 1 tug this week. I'm guaranteeing 1 touchdown pass or touchdown reception from Alan Lazard this week.
That's a Lil Joe guarantee. So I'm going to go with.
Gotta love those.
You went with Darnell Mooney. I am going at the tight end position. I am going Jimmy Graham. The reason why I picked him is because he is due for a good game. And what better defense to do it on than the Vikings, who have made TJ Hawkinson look like a top 5 fucking tight end who's made Robert Tonyan look good. So might as well try and give Jimmy Grandpa one more chance. Give him the shot. Let's do it.
I love it. I love it. And if you're feeling even riskier, and I believe I gave him last week, I'm going to give him again, Irv Smith Jr. Listen.
The other side.
The other side of the coin here, I think I'm listen, a little bit touchdown dependent, but so is every other tight end this year, especially with Travis Kelce on a bye. You're scrambling, you're worrying Travis Kelce owners. I think Irv Smith will allow you to relax a little bit this week and at least give you 13 to 15.
I want to say thank you to Travis Kelce for being the most consistent player in the most inconsistent fucking position of all time. If you have Travis Kelce, you breathe a sigh of relief, except for this week when he's not playing. But those weeks where you have him, it's just a blessing because you don't have to play this Russian roulette of tight ends, and it's a blessing. It's just a blessing. I had to gush over.
No worries. While you're in it and you're coming and speaking from the heart, is there anybody in particular that almost upset the New England Patriots earlier in the week that you would like to apologize to? Who had an absolutely elite game?
It was the New England Patriots
in history, and Joe Flacco
opt-out injuries, 8 defenders opt-out injuries. People like Drew Lock, people like who else beat him? Jimmy G, Jimmy.
Joe Flacco was elite. You'll accept that. You are biased. You continue to hate against him because he was a Ravens quarterback. The best playoff run of all time. 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
We'll see what he does next week.
They're on the
week. I will not. This dude is not elite. Shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up with this shit.
Apology for Joe Flacco coming next week from Shanudi when he's in the right mental.
This is the worst conversation I've had this is worse than the fucking forgetting Sarah Marshall and the Superbad fucking debate that I heard.
By the way, anyone that voted on my poll or Jeff who sits in the Silent Corners poll and voted, or Eamon's poll if you went and voted on his Twitter poll and voted for Superbad, you are incorrect. I'm sorry, you are incorrect. It is forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I'm an independent. I'm going Johnson's family. Go ahead.
You know what? That one as well. Congratulations, dude. I'm with you on that. You convinced me. Johnson's Family Vacation is better by far than Superbad and Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That is something I know Jeff, who sits silent in the corner, can get on board with as well.
I bet. Yeah. Johnson's Family Vacation. Oh, my God. All right. What are we looking at
before we get any more off the rail here?
What are we looking at betting-wise this week?
I mean, we got defenses still, real quick, too.
Defenses. I'm sorry. So, obviously, the favorite pickup this week is the Eagles. I don't want to do the Eagles because the Eagles is the Eagles. So I picked the Saints. The Saints are playing the 49ers. We saw what Nick Mullins got against the Green Bay Packers, and we saw what they did. And we saw what they did with the plant man Tom Brady. So that is who I'm picking, as well as the Minnesota Vikings. If you want to go deeper, Minnesota against the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears turned the ball over a lot, so might as well. So.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be a terrible game. We'll get to it here in a little bit in our gambling corner on Sunday. The dumpster fire game of the week, as I always like to say, in the Washington football team named to be determined at a later date, but probably not, against the Detroit Lions. That is, the straight definition of a dog shit game who fucked a dumpster fire who gave birth to the coronavirus, and that's what this game is, a super spreader. It is a super spreader of just absolute shit. I got this game under 20 points, probably. I'm going to go ahead and I say either pick up the Washington football team named to be determined at a later date, but probably not its defense, or, you know what, they're not available, which I'd be surprised if they wouldn't. The Lions definitely are. The Lions defense is definitely available. Go pick them up because I promise you, listen, Alex, I love you. I want to believe in you as much as I can. But your leg almost got removed, and I don't think you fully recovered from it. You're 2 years off of football, and you have not looked great since. I'm so happy you're back. I love you to death. You're one of my favorite players of all time. But it looks like you maybe should have just been the QB coach.
All right, baby. You ready?
It is time for my favorite segment of the week. It is, of course, Michael Shanudi, the Gambling Corner. And up first this week, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm going to change my voice back to my normal voice instead of my douchebag announcer voice, against the Green Bay Packers, dude. Green Bay Packers here, obviously, shocker, favored by 14. We do have a double-digit underdog here. You know what our good old friend Stu Finder says about double-digit dogs. Bet The dogs. Never bet double point favorites. Never bet double point favorites. Never, ever. You'll lose. Never do it.
I can't.
Are we going Green Bay Packers minus 14 this week at Green Bay Packers home? Over-under is 49.5. I'll go ahead and take this. Stu's fucking an idiot. I'm taking the Packers minus 14. I'm taking the over at 49.5. That is easy money. Cash it in, and win.
Yeah, same. No need to talk about that one. That's a
For
same.
Snood and Joe on the same page of the day. Let's see where we go here.
Yeah, that's a points fest, but it's gonna be Packers killing them. Continue.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a 52 to 21 point game.
Exactly.
With that being said, next up, we do got another dumpster fire this week as well. Of course, it's in the NFC East. You already briefly mentioned the game. It is the Philadelphia Eagles going to the New York Giants, who, hey, the New York Giants look like maybe they're figuring something out here. I don't know. Over-under is 44.5. I am taking, with that being said, in my dog of the week, I am taking the New York Giants here at plus 156 money line, and I'm going to go ahead. It is an NFC East game, correct me? It is, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm going to go ahead and definitely go with the under here. I'm going to go with the under here and Giants money line. And
so
the surrender is 44.5.
4.5?
44.5. And then the cover is plus 3 for the Giants as the dogs.
Oh shit! All right, then give me the Eagles to cover, and then I'm going over. I think the weapons are back for the Eagles, so we'll see if they put up points. So I'm taking the Eagles. Prove it to me.
Nude and Joe on the very exact opposite page there. Eagles, let's see if you can prove it and break my heart. All right. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to see the Carolina Panthers. -6. The Bucs are still some reason favored here. That's right, I said that. There's some reason favored for some reason, and the over/under is 50.5. Another dog of the week. I've got moneyline Carolina Panthers coming in, spanking the Bucs. Bucs are not legit. Bucs are not good. You saw the last 2 weeks. They almost lost to the fucking Giants. They got decimated on air public rape against the Saints. Let's go Panthers, Nude. Let's go over here as well. Over 50.5. Again, plus 205 moneyline Panthers. Over 50.5.
There's two things I know in life. One, sex is great. Two, Tom Brady off 2 bad weeks. It doesn't happen a third time. So I'm going to go Tom Brady and the Bucs to cover, as well as the under. We're on a different page again. So
I love it. Very rare for us on this Gambling Corner segment. I love it.
I think the defense shuts down Teddy, so that's why. So
that's what a lot of people think. I still think that defense is shit, and they're showing they are shit. Moving right along, we got now for our 4 o'clock slates, we got the Denver Broncos coming to see the Las Vegas Raiders, baby. You already know who I got. You know I'm going to take the Raiders to cover the -4 here.
Same.
Over under is 50.5. Give me the under here. Give me the under here at 50.5. I'll take that. I'd even take it at 48. I'd take it. Yeah. Give me the under here. I just don't think the Broncos score like you're hoping they do. I was with Drew Lock with you. I think, I'm kind of off the Drew Lock train a little bit now. Unfortunately, sorry, bud. I'm going to go ahead. Raiders cover here, and it's an under game.
I think it's an over, but I am with the Vegas. I am with Vegas.
Okay. Are we going to be completely opposite this week?
No, the Raiders defense it comes when it needs to come in during the game, but it's not there the full game. And Drew Lock has like one quarter where he shows he's the truth, and then that quarter is where you get the over. So
we shall see. Moving right along to Buffalo Bills going to see the Arizona Cardinals. This is a tough game to pick. It is plus 2.5 for the Buffalo Bills. Cardinals are favored here. Nude's pointing it. Nude's suggesting it. We are definitely going to be on the same page here. Over. Do you like overs? It's an over. Sorry for the horrible song. I think it's going to be an over here at 56.5, Nude. Easy all day. You think that as well. Who I got to win this game is tough. It is tough. Listen, I think I might regret this one, but I'm going to go with a team that broke my heart a little bit earlier in the season, but having a resurgence in the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to go the Arizona Cardinals here. They are favored. I'm not
Same
going
page.
to take the -2 because I think it's a
Same
1-point
page.
game. I'm going to go at same page. We are on the same page here. I think it is. So you're going Cardinals straight up money line as well?
Yep.
Cardinals money line, and we're going to go with the overall day here. Second, Nude and Joe on the same page of the day. I
Yep.
love it. We're syncing up here, Nude, but I also hate it at the same time. I want opposite page here. We'll see where this one goes.
We got enough this week. So far. We got like a couple, so we're good.
Okay. We got a pair going, right? So let's see what's going on with the Seattle Seahawks and going to
Los Angeles.
Very shut down Zombieland Los Angeles, as good old Joe Rogan always likes to complain about, even though he's in Texas now. Joe, calm down. But with that being said, it is a minus this tight. I think it's tighter than it should be, honestly. The Rams are favored here after the Seahawks last couple of weeks at -2. Over under 54.5. I'm taking the same theory you take with Tom Brady here, and I just don't see the Seahawks once again struggling as they had in the last 3 weeks because, yes, they did beat the 49ers, but it wasn't that great of a game. I understand it was a blowout, but it wasn't. Seahawks football wasn't what we had seen the first couple weeks. We see it here in another underdog at +110. I'm taking straight up that money line. Seahawks, don't disappoint me again. Rams, I don't still believe in you. You have no run game. That offense isn't as good as you like to think. It really isn't. That's why it's an under here as well at 54.5.
So I will take an over 54
because you might.
That defense is dog shit. I'm sorry, that Seahawks defense is absolute shit. But I am picking the Seahawks with you. I'll pick the Seahawks to cover. I'm not taking a money line, but I'll take because they're not favored, are they?
No, they're not. You'll take the +2 then?
Give me the +2. They win by 1.
All right. I like it. Bold, baby. I like it. Let's move it right on as we like it raw here. We're going to get it raw from the 49ers and the Saints. Saints at home, -10.5 Saints. We got a double-digit dog here again, dude. Over, under, 49. I'm going to let you go first on this one.
All right, Saints and the over. It was simple. I think it's Saints and the over. They're going to blow this team out. And
you're taking the points?
Yeah, boy.
Same page, Newton Joe's third same page of the day. I love it. Beautiful chemistry. Not too much contrast. Not too much tension. We are going to move forward. We are going to power this country through COVID-19 with our picks. I believe it. Same page. Next game, it is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers against the hot, as we've talked about, the absolutely hot, gorgeous, beautiful, impeccable Miami Dolphins. My Miami Dolphins. I love you. I think you know who I got here. I think they continue to roll. You know what the Chargers are great at, Newt? You know they're absolutely spectacular at doing is looking like they're going to win, blowing games, looking like they're going to win the whole entire time, and then all of a sudden the other team surges. I got the Dolphins here. It's basically a pick 'em at -1. I got the Dolphins over under 48.5. I love that over because another thing the Chargers have done all year is hit that over. I'm going to hit the over at 48.5.
I will take the over, and I will take the Dolphins. We are on the same page again.
Fourth, Nude and Joe on the same page. Damn, I might need a little tension here. I might need a little contesting.
No, trust me. I think I know what game. I think I know what game is going to give us tension.
I think I do too. And that game is absolutely up next. It is the night game. It is the. Are you going to do it? Are you going to? Okay. The night it is the Baltimore Ravens -7 against the New England 3.5. Nude.
Wait, you
give me the over.
Where's the Browns game and the Steelers game? Where's the Browns game and the Steelers game?
What? I don't have it on the old bookie I used to use doesn't have it on there, so you can pull it up. But let's answer this game first, and then you pull that up. I'll go ahead and answer while we're doing this. I don't know why the line's not on the site I have here, dude.
No, it's
the old site I used to use. I apologize, face the franchise fans, but let's answer this game real quick. I got the Ravens -7, and I got the over here.
The Ravens -7.
And then let me find. Well, I'll go to my other site and I can
Ravens minus. I'll take the Ravens as well, and I'll take the under.
Take the Ravens as well. You're going to take the under there. All right. So a little bit on the same page. So in terms terms of the, well,
Oh,
let's
I
go
know
ahead.
why.
Let's do the Monday night. As I'm up.
I know why. I know why these games are not determined yet. They're waiting on the COVID test.
Okay.
All right.
So kind of that's why we missed some lines in previous weeks as well, if you all have noticed that. So we'll go ahead and I mean, do you at least want to get, I mean, what's your pick here for Bengals Steelers if they do happen to play?
Steelers if Ben plays, if not Bengals cover whatever. I think right now it's -7, but then what the last time I saw before the COVID test, so Bengals definitely keep it close. I think the Steelers are going to win by 4 or 3 if they have Ben. If they don't have Ben, but if they have Ben, then the Steelers cover.
Yeah, I still don't have a line there on this other side either, and it looks like, yeah,
Not
Browns
big
don't
deal.
have it. Browns and Texans don't have a line yet either. So
Browns and Texans was -3 last time I saw. Browns were favored by 3, so I'll go Browns -3, but they didn't have over unders on there yet. So
I'll go Browns -3. I'll go if Ben plays Steelers cover. Same page there, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up, nude, with cue the horns, baby. We have, and of course my phone closed as I was doing that, baby. It's all good. We don't always have to be smooth. We don't always have to be perfect, like a baby's bottom, nice and smooth. But we'll go, not the best reference of the day. We'll go ahead and go with a classic, a absolute classic of a division rivalry in the Vikings and the Chicago Bears. It's going to be in the Windy City, nude. It's going to be -2.5 for the Vikes. I always love when the Bears are dogs, and then it's going to be over under 43. Give me the under, and I have a lot of dogs this week, dude. Give me the Bears.
Give me the Bears too. God damn it! And I'll take the under.
Taking the under, so not completely on the same page, but I do think the Bears, and you think the Bears will absolutely pull this one out. Stop dogging the Bears. Vegas, what the fuck are you guys doing? You guys have been so disrespectful to the Bears. I understand they're struggling, but they've also proven that they're somewhat of a legit team.
They're still 5-3. They're still 5-3. Let's give them their respect. They're still 5-3. Get off their backs.
Please. That's all I ask. The Bears should have the -2 here, not the fucking Vikings.
Exactly. Well, that's our show, baby. Thank you for rocking with us as always. We like to thank our sponsors as always. Eyesight Mobile Eyewear Company comes to you. Sunglasses, glasses, anything you need, they'll come to you. As well as Stuck Up Clothing, stuckupclothing.co. .com as well. They're on Instagram, so follow them. It's at Eyesight and at stuckupclothing.co. So all those we'll put their tags in our posts as well as our Instagram stories. Follow us on 4cr.studio as well on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our podcasts. Ready? Face of the Franchise.
You've been killing it lately. Keep going.
5 holers. Last Nice Guys. Thoughtology. Bread and Butter. Free Therapy. Just for Us. Well,
it's back. We will be coming back soon. Don't worry.
There you go. As well as 3 episodes of Hooping and Hollering. But that's the we are the face of the franchise, baby. That's Lil Joe. I am the Pharaoh Shanuti. Stay breezy, stay easy, and one love.
Ha ha!